Jake's favorite NFL team just lost money for the third consecutive year. The operating losses are real. The payroll is enormous. The stadium costs are significant. The coaching staff alone costs $40 million annually. And the team finished 8-9 last season. And the owner, who bought the team for $800 million 14 years ago, just purchased his second yacht and a beach house in the Maldives. And this is not a scandal. This is not corruption. This is not an accounting trick. This is the economics of sports team ownership. And it is one of the most brilliantly designed wealth building systems that has ever existed in American business. And it works regardless of whether your team wins the championship or finishes last in the division. Today, I am going to decode exactly how owning a losing sports team makes you extraordinarily rich. The television deal. Everything in professional sports economics starts here. The NFL signed a series of broadcast deals in 2021, worth approximately $113 billion over 11 years, with CBS, NBC, Fox, ESPN, and Amazon, $113 billion. And here's the detail that changes everything about how you understand sports economics. That money is divided equally among all 32 NFL teams, regardless of their record, regardless of their market size, regardless of whether they sold out their stadium or played in front of half-empty seats all season. Every team gets an equal share of every dollar, which means that Jake's team, the one that went 8-9 and lost money on operations, received approximately $350 million in television revenue last year, before selling a single ticket, before moving a single piece of merchandise, before signing a single sponsorship deal. $350 million for simply existing as one of 32 NFL franchises. The revenue sharing system, the television money, is not the only revenue that gets shared equally. The NFL shares more than 50% of all league revenue among teams, including merchandise sales, licensing fees, and portions of sponsorship income. This revenue sharing system was deliberately designed to make every franchise viable, regardless of market size, because the league understood something that most businesses never learn, that the strength of the weakest competitor determines the strength of the entire product. A league with 8 dominant teams and 24 struggling ones produces a worse television product, a worse stadium experience, and ultimately a less valuable broadcast deal than a league where any team can compete on any given Sunday. The revenue sharing is not charity. It is economic self-interest, operating in a system where sharing makes everyone richer. The franchise scarcity premium. Here is the most important economic principle in professional sports, and the one that most fans never think about. There are 32 NFL teams, and there will never be 33. Not because the NFL cannot support more teams, but because scarcity is the foundation of the entire economic model. Every new team that is added dilutes the value of the existing 32, which means the existing 32 owners will never vote to add a 33rd. And the result of that permanent artificial scarcity is guaranteed asset appreciation. The Dallas Cowboys were worth $140 million in 1993. They are worth approximately $10 billion in 2026. That is a 70 times increase in value over 33 years. While the stock market roughly doubled 12 times over the same period, owning one of 32 permanently scarce franchises in the most watched sport in America has been one of the best investments in the history of American business. The stadium financing game. Here is where sports team economics get genuinely extraordinary. Most NFL stadiums are built using significant amounts of public money, taxpayer funds, municipal bonds, state subsidies, because cities compete aggressively to host NFL franchises, and the threat of relocation is a constant negotiating tool. The owner who spent $800 million on the franchise frequently gets a $2 billion stadium built with a significant public contribution, and then retains the naming rights, the premium seating revenue, the parking revenue, and all the non-game day event revenue that the stadium generates, while the public entity that financed a significant portion of the construction receives minimal financial benefit from the asset it helped build. This arrangement generates enormous political controversy and also generates enormous wealth for franchise owners. The paper losses explained. Here's why Jake's team loses money on paper every year, and why the owner does not care. Professional sports teams operate with enormous fixed costs: player payroll, coaching staff, facilities, travel, marketing, and these costs are largely non-negotiable due to salary cap rules and competitive necessity. When the television revenue and ticket sales and merchandise do not exceed these costs in a given year, the team shows an operating loss, but the operating loss is almost entirely irrelevant to the owner's wealth, because the owner did not buy a sports team for the operating income. The owner bought a sports team for the asset appreciation, and while the team was showing operating losses for 3 years, the franchise value was increasing by approximately $300 million per year. An operating loss of $50 million combined with asset appreciation of $300 million is not a loss. It is a $250 million gain that does not appear on the income statement. It appears on the balance sheet and eventually on the sale price when the owner sells. The media platform value. In 2026, the economics of sports team ownership have evolved beyond the original model. Teams are no longer just sports franchises. They are media platforms with content libraries, streaming deals, social media audiences, and entertainment properties that generate revenue streams that did not exist 10 years ago. The team that goes 8-9 still generates 300 million social media impressions per season, still sells naming rights to its practice facility, still licenses its brand to video game companies, still generates documentary content that streaming platforms will pay for. The logo on the helmet is not just a sports brand. It is a media asset that compounds in value every time someone watches a game, every time someone wears a jersey, every time someone plays a video game featuring the team. Here's the bottom line about the economics of owning a sports team. It is one of the most perfectly constructed wealth-building mechanisms in American capitalism. The television deal provides guaranteed income regardless of performance. The revenue sharing ensures viability regardless of market size. The franchise scarcity guarantees asset appreciation regardless of results. The stadium financing transfers construction costs to the public while retaining revenue to the owner. And the paper losses that make headlines are largely irrelevant to the actual wealth being generated. Jake's team went 8-9 last season. The owner bought a second yacht. The economics explain both. You have been decoded. If this video made you understand professional sports completely differently, subscribe to Money Decoder 3004. Every single week, we decode the economic systems hiding inside the familiar institutions of American life. Simply, honestly, and clearly. Drop a comment below. Does knowing the economics of sports team ownership change how you feel about your favorite team's owner? Tell me honestly. I read every single comment, and I will see you in the next decode.